Oh, this is Tai Lopez, and I just saw him on my Instagram feed, and Tai Lopez is the famous influencer from back in the day, who's famous for standing in his garage with these fancy cars with like books, and he was talking about how knowledge and reading books made him wealthy. Well, Tai Lopez was recently charged by the SEC, U.S. Security and Exchange Commission, basically was running some sort of Ponzi scheme for $112 million, hundreds of investors. And it's so interesting because I just did a case study on Jordan Belfort, the Wolf of Wall Street. Now, in this video, we're going to be looking at Tai's chart and specifically what he shares in common with iShowSpeed, Adin Ross, Joe Rogan, to name a few of the influencers. Also, what he shares in common with Andrew Tate, as well as Jordan Belfort, aka the Wolf of Wall Street. And using that to decode his arrest and also a prediction of what's going to happen to him as a result of this arrest, and it's not what you think. So let's jump right into this. This is his chart here. So Tai, this is his day of birth, this is his month, this is his year. Tai's born on the 11th, and he has a 3 life path. These two go together very, very well to create an influencer type. So Joe Rogan's has 11, iShowSpeed has prominent 11, Adin Ross, prominent 11, Barack Obama, prominent 11. People, influential people, and why is that? Nobody really talks about this. I'm going to show you right now. If you look inside of the number 11, as you can see here, here's the 2. It has a 33.6 inside of it. 33.6 is the master influencer. Now, this isn't any ordinary 33.6. It's made up of 2 number 21s, the crown of the Magi, also called the world. Very, very associated with master of branding, really good marketer, great with their mouth. So this is a very, very charismatic number potential. And when you take it with 3, which is all about communication, it's on another level. So it explains why this guy has a tendency for influencer, but that's not all. Now if you go look at his name, because this is the name here, this is the main name, the full name, vowels, consonants, they all have the different meanings. The name is what manifests into the world. The birthday is just potential. So we look here, he's got the 62.8. You know who else had the 62.8? Has 62.8? Donald Trump, Jordan Belfort. And what's interesting about 62.8 is they are it's a number for manipulating others through charm. Being able to easily charm others, even enemies, is what's associated with the 62.8. And we see his whole destiny, this is a destiny number here, is rooted in this 32.5. What's 32.5? The number of the influencer, sometimes called the emperor. And even more, he has the 20 here as his personality archetype right here. And what's special about the 20 is it's the politician number, and Jordan Belfort also has this number, and this is a number that is associated with having people worship you. And finally, of course, he has the 17.8 here, which is the number of the celebrity, the spotlight number, and actually what brought him into the spotlight for his little naughtiness, which we're going to talk about. Now you see these 11s on the outside of his auras here. This is the outer, this side of the body. This is like a physical body. This is the outer expression, how he presents himself to the world. All this 11 energy, 17.8, 11.11. You can see why he's such a charismatic guy, the 15.6. Now, I will say there is a certain combination. I can share it. It's associated with sociopath, psychopath. Now, some people have it, doesn't mean they're sociopath and psychopath. It's a matter of how many times they have it, and is it around numbers that are imbalanced. The more imbalanced numbers that are kind of in the network, the more of a likelihood. So the combination of 4 and 6 and 8 and 6, he's got it all over the place. There's the 4 and 6 here. Here's the 6 and 8 here. Here's the 6 and 8 there. You have some 6 and 8 here of the worst kind with the 15.6. And you have the 6 and 8 here as well. So there is a potential in him, which explains why he really doesn't have problems, potentially, there's the 4 and 6 as well, taking money from other people, essentially stealing. And this is even more so because this number 11 number has a spectrum, as all numbers do. In imbalance, it's actually associated with criminals because basically they have a certain, I would say, low self-esteem, that they overly compensate, they're overly aggressive, overly about whatever they're doing, and that can include cheating people. And here is the real kicker. This is the personality. He's got double 22 fours with an 11 center on the name line. And what that means is, and these number 22 fours are not any ordinary ones, they're double 11s. 22-4 in imbalance is someone who would cheat, someone who would lie, also who would attract bad influences like, hey, Tai, do this Ponzi scheme and you'll make like $100 million real fast. With this setup, he'd be more receptive to something like that. Now, the kicker with Tai is why he was arrested this year. This is where we're going to get into Andrew Tate, we're going to get into Jordan Belfort, and some other secrets in his chart. So, what's interesting about Tai is he was born in the year of the snake. This is the year of the snake. Guess who else was arrested in their own personal years? Andrew Tate, born year of tiger, arrested in year of tiger. Jordan Belfort, Wolf of Wall Street, born year of tiger, arrested year of tiger. What happened to both of those guys? Well, because they were both arrested during their personal years, it worked out very well for them. Although inconvenient, Andrew Tate profited. His exposure went up, his global exposure went up, his clout went up. He's got courses now on like how to beat the matrix. He's profited tremendously. His relevance went up a lot as well. He kind of became famous, like a martyr. And then you have Jordan Belfort, arch criminal turned motivational speaker. But of course, Jordan wrote the Wolf of Wall Street book, which got turned into a $400 million movie by one of the most famous directors in Hollywood, Martin Scorsese, who Leonardo DiCaprio played Jordan. And why Leonardo DiCaprio? Quick side, I have a Substack I just posted about Jordan if you want to go look at the Wolf of Wall Street. But Leo was a 7 life path born year of tiger. Jordan was a 7 life path born year of tiger. And both of them had the number 17-8. What's with this number? Well, 17-8 is called the spotlight, the celebrity number. A lot of celebrities have it. It's also very, people associated with it typically are very, very beautiful, depending on what they have going on with their chart. But the caveat with 17-8, now I've seen this personally in my own life as well, knowing 17-8s. If they try to hide something, do some naughtiness behind the scenes, because here's the catch with Tai. He's an 11, he has a 7 in his mind center, and he has 17-8, means he has a lot of awareness. He knew what he was doing. This wasn't like, oh, I didn't know I was going to cheat these people. No, he knew what he was doing. And what happens with people, because 8 at the end of the day is a karmic number. What 17-8 promises you is basically, if you do some naughtiness, it's going to be brought into the spotlight one way or another. That's what happened with him. Now, why now? This is where we're getting a little deeper here. So there's a couple reasons why. Number one, quickly, let's look at his destiny rose. We don't have to get into this. It seems like gibberish if you're not familiar with it. But let's look at this blue column. This is what the main energy is manifested. So particularly these vertically stacked compound numbers. And here we see November, which we're basically in November. And this number, this 4, although it's down here in November, it actually influences and flavors the whole year, because this 4, because of the position it's in, pulls all the energy. So it kind of is what all the energy is moving toward. This is like a big snowball. What's 4? 4 is a square. 4 is law and order. 4 is confinement. 4 is prison. Now, he's not going to prison, but it is law and order. You'll see 4 here appears as his month, which is also sometimes called the lesson number. And there's more. If you take his personal year, so 11 plus 4 is 15. If you add that to 2025, you have 2040. Now, there is a school of thought which I follow that the actual personal year is 40. Now the plus 2, which would make it 6, is relevant as a general theme, but within that theme is 4 and the 40. Now what's special about 40? Well, 40, why did Jesus go to the desert for 40 days? 40 is associated with karmic trials, karmic tests, and it has the prison number itself inside of it, which is a karmic penalty number, which is the number 448. Karmic penalty number and associated with having prison karma. So this is a time, this 40 personal year and this 4 synced up to activate this. Now you'll notice that it's a 40, but it's a 6 as well. And so here is the 6, again, his year is a 6. It's also a snake. He got arrested in a personal 6 year associated with 40, karmic trial, karmic test, a reset, possible jail time. This is why this is all happening. It all started now. Now, the prediction, which I'll get into in a moment after I wrap this up, is that Tai is going to profit very well from this. So First, let's continue on here. He's in a destiny period 6. So because he was born in a year that adds to a 6, it means when his first born, the first 6 years of his life was a destiny rhythm 6. Following that, he had 3 years of a destiny rhythm 3, and then back to 6. So people who are born in a 3-year or a 6-year, they have a 3-6 rhythm throughout their entire life. Now, the 3 rhythm is about expansion, growth and just expansion. We'll put it that way, keep it simple. Now, the 6 period is about accountability. It's a contraction phase where you kind of take responsibility for whatever it is that you have grown and expanded upon. So he's right in the middle of that period. So this is another theme of taking responsibility for what he has done, which was brought into the spotlight. Now, his age is 48. Why is that relevant? Because we just looked at that 4 and 8. Something called the 4 and 8 tension in Chaldean numerology. When 4 and 8 come together, it creates upheavals, it creates massive change, and you'll notice that 4 plus 8 equals 12. That's his little life path. It's also connected to his destiny here. The 12 appears in several places. The 12 is the martyr, the victim, the sacrifice, the hanged man, and this is exactly the number that was associated with Andrew Tate's arrest as well. Now, here's the biggest one with this 6. This 6, okay, destiny rhythm, that's 1-6. Remember the personal year? He's in a 6th personal year, which activated his own year that he was born in. Now, why is that relevant? Well, because you'll see his name, which is this is called his destiny number, which is based on the name, the full expression of the name. You'll notice the letter count is a 16. You'll notice that his potential in his essence also has a 16, which is associated with a pyramid number, which I'm not going to get to that. That'll be too long. But I am going to say this. 16 is called the shattered citadel. It is associated with loss of status, humbling, and humiliation. And why that is because the 6 humbles the 1. Because 6 is in the inner digit, the 1 has to bow to the 6. And the 1 is what? The ego, the identity. So when you force your ego and identity in 16, it's going to cause a humiliation, a humbling, a loss of status. And because all of this 6 energy was activated for him right now, it made that more stronger, where that 6 humbled the 1. And 6 does not like 1 because 1 is individualistic, 6 is selfless. 6's whole job is to take individuals and bind them into a family or a community, a common unity. And 1s are anti-6. And so if 1 ever tries to assert itself without paying attention to the 6, crash happens. And that's exactly what happened with Tai. And it was brought into the spotlight. Now, as I said, and I'll wrap the video up with this without making it too much longer, he's going to profit from this. So what my prediction is Tai is going to end up using this story to pivot. Because what happened in the case of Andrew Tate, what happened in the case of Jordan Belfort, if you notice Andrew Tate after his arrest, if you watch his podcast before, he was more, and I'm a big Andrew Tate fan, so I'll put that out there, he's more boisterous, a little more obnoxious. He's just louder and prouder. If you watch his content now, he's matured a lot. Look at Jordan Belfort. He went from an arch criminal, now he is a motivational speaker. He's, wrote the story that was behind a very, very successful movie. He's kind of straight edge now. So he had a pivot. So what happens is the arrest, because it happened in their personal year, it was actually their destiny catching up to them, where they have to shift gears. And so what I predict is going to happen to Tai is he's going to use this story to influence people about what he did wrong. And he's going to make money from it. Somehow he's going to find a way to use this, to leverage this, to make a pivot in his career and move on to something else. That's my prediction. I do think he will profit from it. And this 13-4 is interesting because this is the real story of the year, and 13-4 is called the death card, the death number. Why? 13-4 raises the old to the ground. It makes room for something new. And so what you're going to see with Tai is he's going to shift gears, and he's going to do very well from this. Okay, so with that said, there's one more thing. His name is an 8, his day is a 2. This creates a 28. This is why it's important to have your name and your birthday in harmony. Now, 28, as we know, is a number of wealth, but 28 has a caveat. If you cut corners, after all, because it is founded on the number 8, which is the inner digit, 28 is associated with legal battles, court cases. That's exactly what's happened with Tai. So he cut corners, he did some boo-boo, he was a little naughty, legal cases as the result, and he's getting exposed for being a naughty influencer and basically cheating people, which he kind of found kind of easy. He knew what he was doing and he kind of did it. And he has a combination for basically kind of being a liar. I'm not going to lie. He's got a lot of energy of sociopath. Not saying he is a sociopath. I am saying, though, it will be very, very easy for Tai to turn it off. That is the empathy. And sort of knowingly take people's money, knowing that he's kind of screwing them over. Okay, that said, I am currently offering 28-minute readings to analyze your birthday and your name for $55. So I can get this information out there to people, because I have done case studies on you can see on my Substack, people who have had a heart attack, severe head injury, all coming from the name. The birth date is the potential, but it is the name that governs how that potential is expressed into the world. Now, these destiny rows heavily factor into, it's called a destiny number for a reason, because this goes into what happens to you. So it has a massive influence also over your destiny. So because Tai has this 8 here, it means that every year around June he has this 8816 pop up, which means 8816 is the second of the 3 main karmic penalty numbers, which means every year he has to go through some sort of karmic challenges and karmic tests. Not that they'll be bad, but it's going to be tough. So it's all coming from his name. So that said, check out my website where you can schedule your reading. You can also message me on Instagram. If you're not subscribed to my Substack, it's free. You can access my archives. I have a lot of cool case studies where you can really nerd out on learning about numbers and different numbers, star vibrations, karmic penalty numbers, karmic protection numbers. It's all that stuff is on my Substack. Okay, until next time, happy manifesting. God bless. Om.